coming. I know everybody's like, oh man, what's he gonna do? This guy, you know, always has something up his sleeve, you know. So the Dallas Open is now came and went, and the hard work that we put in, you know, all paid off. You know, like I said in the post, you know I rode some people pretty hard during practice, but because I seen when you were trying to lay up a little bit, I knew you had more in you to give, so I had to squeeze whatever I could out of you, you know. And so that's my job as a coach to do that, but in a, you know, obviously like in a positive way, you know. You guys know I don't, you know, try to belittle or cuss or swear at anybody, you know. It's just some people need a little kick in the behind to get some stuff going. So again, it was our biggest team ever. We had 5 that didn't end up competing. We had 59, and we ended up with 54 that actually were on the roster that actually went out and fought. We had, you know, Mr. Crosby, his father had a liver transplant, so thank God there. Thank goodness his dad is doing very well now and recovering well, so that's great. We had a couple people that just didn't show up, just didn't call, didn't message, hey coach, you know, I feel ill, just didn't show, you know. And then we had some that just, Mr. Abaco, they wouldn't change his name from Alvarez to Bruno Bastos when it was already Bruno Bastos, so his points didn't even count towards our team, so on and so forth. We were up against some heavy hitters, man. The other team in Dallas, great team, much respect to their team. They brought in some high-level players, man, you know, and it was neck and neck until the very end. It was just like a heavyweight bout all the way to the very end, where we came out on top by just a few points. And so the fruits of our labor is right here. You know, Professor Bruno Bastos, my coach, you know, everybody's coach, honored us with the Dallas Open trophy once again because of the numbers that we put out, the number of the students that we had competing under his flag, and so it's all said and done. It's here. So big round of applause for everybody. If you got promoted on the podium, please stand up and come up. If you got promoted on the podium on Saturday, so, we'll start with the guys first. Normally it's ladies first, but we'll save the best for last. So, Mr. Ryan, you know, he goes out there, has some tough fights. He goes and he subs both of his opponents, you know. Super awesome stuff. Took second at Pan Am's last year, took second at Pan Am's this year. Just a great competitor, and everybody knows that trains with him. He's an absolute beast. He's a monster, you know. So, I had to go ahead and get him out of the purple belt division, and now it's time to make history in the brown belt division. Okay, so one more time for Mr. We got the big man here. You know, he goes out, he puts the post on the team page. He's like, Coach, man, I'm ready to do it, man. It's my day. You know, he had me pumped up after his post. You know, so he goes out there, he handles his business, then he hops in the absolute. Handle some more business. You know, it's one of the best guys you could ask to be on your team. You know, like everybody knows, everybody loves Big Ben here. You know, he's like good to talk to, always gives great compliments. Just an awesome guy all the way around, man. And so, very well deserving of the purple belt there. So, then we got Miss Christina. Miss Christina goes out there, has 4 fights. You know. And just put in some serious work on the mat, you know, just step by step is just picking apart all her opponents, man, and just very aggressive and just, how many submissions did you have? 2 submissions out of the 4, you know, and you won the Houston Open, correct, right? You've done good at all the other tournaments, great competitor, she's always real nervous, oh coach, I don't think I can do this, I can do that, do you think I can do it? I have some bruised ribs, am I going to be okay? I said, man, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You sure? blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, look, just you're going to be fine. And then she goes out there and she, you know, she does it. So I had to promote her as well. So big round of applause. Then we got Mr. Ty, you know, one of our highest level and most active female competitors. Travels around the world, does work everywhere. Man, I can just be here for days and talk about how great of a teammate and a student she is, how hard worker that she is. You know, she's lifting weights, she eats right, she's in here training, you know, and she's put in the time. She has just a little over 2 years, and you know, she came up a little short earlier in the year, and we just needed to make sure we took care of some business like we did on Saturday, and that's exactly what she did. And now she's got promoted purple belt. So big round of applause. Very happy for her. Now, Miss Carmen isn't here. Miss Carmen, she is not here. Okay, yeah. So Miss Carmen and Mrs. Renner were in the same division. Okay, opposite brackets, size of the bracket, of course. Man, had some tough fights. Some nail biters, man, all the way to the end, some ref decisions, this, that, you know, it's like, oh, man, I was there for all of them, man, you know, like, I was eating a sandwich at one time, trying to coach, just spitting food everywhere, like, man, it was pretty gross, yeah, but I was hungry, you know, so I had to eat something and coach at the same time. But what Mrs. Renner and Miss Carmen was able to pull off was just amazing. Like, I really did, like, almost get, like, break down a little bit, because it was deep, right? So she gets out there, handles her side of the bracket. Carmen goes over there, handles her side of the bracket. And the thing about it is everybody up here has lost at one point or another. And Miss Carmen's not here. I really wish she was. But, you know, she has some tournaments where she didn't do very well, you know, for whatever reason. A lot of it's just mental, you know. And she was able to pick herself back up, get back to training, and handle business. And now, Carmen, again, she's not here, but she's a blue belt. They close out the bracket together, got their hands raised, and so I promoted both Carmen and Mrs. Renner to blue belt, so awesome job to both of them. Mrs. Renner, if you watch her train day in and day out, like this last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, she was here every day. Where some of the guys that were competing didn't come every day. You know who you are because you were tired, a little sore. She came in after work, okay, and grinded all the way till 9 o'clock. Doesn't complain, doesn't whine, doesn't moan, doesn't nothing, man. She just gets in here and fights every day. She's an inspiration to me, and she'll be an inspiration for everybody. Like, everybody can learn something from her because she doesn't give me any lip about anything. Oh, coach this. Oh, coach something. Somebody always has something they have to come up and tell me. She just gets in here and grinds. And it all pays off, man. So, I mean, Mrs. Renner is a big inspiration for me, and again, should be for everybody else. So one more time for her. Okay, so now, what I have, you guys can relax. I'll let you guys take a seat there. Okay. They went out there and it went their way. Okay? It went their way. Not every time you're going to go out there is it going to go your way. No matter how hard you work, no matter how much time you put in, no matter what you did, all the eating, all the healthy eating you did, all the sacrifice, you gave it all up. You go out there and fight, and you still come up short. You come up short. That doesn't make you a loser. That doesn't mean that you suck. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't compete no more. Like, we're not going to be you're not going to be my student no more, or you're not going to be a teammate on this team no more. Okay? What I care about is you go out there and you give me effort. That's all I want. That's all I ever want from anybody. You go out there and fight. You come in class every day, you practice, and you give me everything you got. You should get tapped 100 times. It doesn't matter. As long as you're trying, that's all any coach should ask for from their students. At least me. You know? I love you whether you win or lose. It doesn't matter. Your teammates should feel the same way. Your family's going to love you the same, your kids or whoever. are going to come up and hug you afterwards, you come up short. I'm a competitor. I know what it feels like to lose, so I'm not going to step on you after you lose. I know what it's like. I know what the jitters like, the nerves are like. Oh man, this guy's been training for X amount of years. He's got this coach. Oh, look at his patches on his gi. He looks all tough, you know. Like, so many things go through your mind. I know what that's like because I do it all the time. I just did it last week at American National. That's why I do it. For one, I love to compete and test myself, but I want to be able to share my stories with you, and I can't do that if I don't step out in front and show you guys and lead by example. So hopefully, you know, in the future, you guys have your own academy. You can do that for your students as well, because I can't coach you or relate to what you're going through if I don't go out there and if I haven't been through what you've been through. And there's some coaches, you know, no disrespect, but they can't say, hey, man, hey, I know what that's like. No, you don't. Like, you don't do what I do. You know, you don't know what that's like to go out there and lose. I do. So it hurts. I know it does. So what I'm going to do today is the people that are going to come up have their time in at a specific rank. And because they gave me everything that they had, they were here, they were training hard, they put in the work. Even though they might have placed, they didn't get gold. Maybe they placed, maybe they didn't. But they've been giving me everything they've had, everything they have every time they come in. Okay, so we're going to go kind of down the list here. We're going to start off with Mr. Chad Rizzo. Come on up, sir. Every day he comes to practice, man. 6 a.m., come back later on at night, 2 a days, everything he's got, man. Awesome guy. Like, I couldn't ask for it. I don't want him to give me anything more than what he's got. Now it's just time to go up to the next level, man. Congrats again, sir. Alrighty. Next up, another one that gives me 150%. Mr. Rob Lero, come on up, sir. Comes in, does his work, takes his licks, keeps on coming, competes, goes out there and grinds and give me everything he has. Yes, sir. Another one that's a beast, super tough, had 3 fights the other day. Came up short by, I think it was a negative or something, I don't know, man, I had missed it. So, Mr. Abaco, where you at, sir? Know the roles with him, man. You guys are in for a little workout when you roll with this guy, man. I got a picture I need to upload where his gi's all open. He's got like all these muscles showing. I gotta put it in that.
You're welcome.
Made, man. Good stuff.